this might be the best thing we've talked about all day. It goes back to Canadian politicians, liberal liars, and the authoritarian regime that is the Trudeau regime. It's not a government, it's a regime. They just passed Bill C-11. Okay, Bill C-11, the Online Streaming Act. I'll probably talk about that with Unlearned 16 as well. They just passed Bill C-11, Online Streaming Act. As of now, internet content, including user-generated content, is going to be governed by the CRTC, the Canada Radio Television Communications body. It's going to be subject to the Broadcasting Act, which is going to impose Canadian content requirements on online streaming, including user-generated content, even if they say that they're not going to. Impose fines for non-compliance. It's going to affect discoverability of Canadian content, CanCon, which is a great move, a great acronym because it's a CanCon. It passed. Senate reviewed it, made some recommendations. The House said, thanks for the recommendations. We'll take some and we're not going to take the other big ones and piss off. And it received royal assent last Thursday, 6:55, time of death of Canada's demise. Pablo Rodriguez, this guy that you see here, the one who looks like, I won't make fun of him. You know, I could make actor jokes, which I won't do. Porno actor jokes. He's being interviewed. Primetime politics. Let me just see what this is. I don't know what this is. Today's Canadian politics, from breaking stories to developments on long-standing issues, key moments, interviews, panels, and in-depth analysis. CPAC. Okay, that's fine. They're worthy of an interview with the government. Let's hear what he has to say here.
Concerned that this might actually have overreach, and now there was also a concern that this might actually have overreach and affect the individual content creators, user-generated content that are posted onto these kind of websites. But you don't think that's going to be an issue here?
No.
Even though the Senate wanted to pass an amendment that would actually make a distinction, say it would not apply to them.
But that amendment had a loophole in it. But think of
that amendment had a. Elaborate, please, Mr. Rodriguez. Remember, I've talked about it. I won't go into it in greater detail, but one of the amendments to this bill was that it would specifically exclude user-generated content. So it would specifically apply to, the Netflix, the Hulus, the Disney Pluses, the online streaming companies, not to user-generated content. There was a specific exclusion in there. In the dead of night, under the dead of the COVID lockdowns, the Liberals removed that amendment with that specific exclusion for user-generated content. And then the then minister at the time, Guilbeault, that buffoon, says, no, we're not going after user-generated content. Then why did you remove the exclusion? We didn't need it there in the first place. Then why did you remove it? Oh, we might go after you if we think you're acting like a broadcaster. That's what happened. Listen to this pathological liberal liar. Try to assure you, we're not coming after user-generated content.
About it. First, I say we're not interested in looking at the content of creators. I mean, even if it's great, we're among the best in the world, but it's not what we're looking for. But even if we were, how do we do that? Did you ask the questions to these people? How would we do that?
I got it, teacher. I got an answer. I got an answer to that.
There's millions and millions of things uploaded on the internet every day. Who would be watching that?
Has this buffoon never heard of artificial intelligence, AI, algorithm? Has this pathological liar never heard of it? Or does he think that liberal supporters are so dumb, naive, willfully blind, or happy to be the tyrants that they won't care about it? Oh, because, by the way, liberal government might not always be in power. The conservative government now is running on, we will repeal Bill C-11 if we win the next election. They might change their minds. Hey, power is always good when it's in your hands. It's always dangerous when it's in the hands of your ideological adversaries. How would we do that? I've never heard of this thing called artificial intelligence, AI, algorithms. Oh, how? There's millions and millions. How would we do that? Oh, that's how, you liar.
Someone at the government, the CRTC? It's impossible.
It's
so
impossible.
Are we not interested in watching and passing comments on the content? There's no way we could do it anyways.
Not interested. They are interested because they have a financial interest in doing it. Hey, why not impose financial obligations, Canadian content requirement obligations, penalties on why not? It's more money in your pocket. And more importantly, if you had no intention of doing it, why did you eliminate in the dead of night the exclusion that would have specifically provided to exclude user-generated content. But hold on, gets better.
But it does, for example, apply to, as you just said, streamers like Disney Plus, like Netflix, Apple, as well as Prime. Are you willing to expand the definition of what qualifies as Canadian content in order to satisfy the intent of this law?
The next step, now that the
listen to
became
this.
law, is for me to draft a policy directive to the CRTC, and in that directive, I will ask the CRTC to look at the actual definition of Canadian content and to modernize it.
After the law is passed, after the law has been, this is procedure in Canada. After the law has been passed, after it has received royal assent, Pablo Rodriguez, Canada's Minister of Censorship, will issue a directive to the body that has been empowered under the law to supervise, to regulate, to govern online streaming. After the law has been passed, he issues a directive in which he can specify, clarify, or what's the word I'm looking for? I guess specify is the word, in which he can make more specific the definition of the criteria. This is, in real time, the embodiment or the realization of we need to pass the bill in order to see what's in it to some degree. They pass this bill, which they know is ambiguous as to who it governs, and then the protocol procedure afterwards is for the Minister of Censorship of Canada, Pablo Rodriguez, to issue a directive to outline what the powers of the CRTC are going to be, or to empower the CRTC to outline their own powers. Is it going to cover user-generated content? I'm going to issue a directive right now to the CRTC to outline, define their own powers. Pass the bill before we even know specifically who it does and does not apply to. What could go wrong? CRTC is definitely one of those trustworthy governmental bodies, administrative bodies that wants to limit their own power, right? They don't want to enhance their own power, increase their own power to censor what Canadians do and do not see online. They don't want to increase what they can dip their hands into in terms of the back pockets of online content creators. Surely they want to limit their power, limit their revenue, limit their oversight. Absolutely. Because who would do that? There's millions of stuff that goes on the internet every day.
So we'll see what they come up to. But a lot of things are very important. For example, the IP, the fact that we need to hire more Canadian people, being actors, directors, technicians. We want to help our industry, and this is what this bill is doing.
What a bloody liar. But look at this. It gets better. Hold on. How would we do it? There's millions of things that we can't track the internet. Come on. Hey, oi. Oh, cripe. Why won't it refresh? Hold on. Maybe if I do that. There we go. Okay, fine. Bring it back here. Was this the original tweet? Prime time. Ugh, I screwed up. How would they do it, people? How would they do it? Here's how they do it. No thanks. Get this out of here. Here's how they do it. National Post, 33 million devices. Spy. Oh, tracked. I think it was tracked. How would they do it? They already did it. Canada's public health agency admits it tracked 33 million mobile devices during lockdown. How would we do this? Oh, we can't just gather the data and then look at it. We can't just hire more government officials to look at the interwebs. Why would we? There's literally, we're not going to go and see what 33 million mobile devices during lockdown. The Public Health Agency of Canada accessed data such as cell tower location to monitor people's activity during lockdown, it said. Public health. I've talked about this many times anyhow. How would they do it? Due to the urgency of the pandemic, the PHAC collected and used mobility data such as cell tower location throughout the COVID-19 response, a spokesperson said. The program's existence was first brought to wider attention by Blacklock's reporter. It's amazing. How would they do it? They've already done it, people. They've already done it. They've already done it to you. Get down, camera. But no, trust them now. Here.